Joining us now is one of the winningest coaches in NCAA women's soccer history, Jennifer Rockwood in Studio B. Jen, good to have you back.
Thanks, guys. Good to be here.
Okay, you just went to Italy, so we want to hear all about it. How was the trip overall?
It was fantastic. You know, when you have a chance to visit a country like that and all the history, we took 80 people with us.
80.
We had quite a gang following around, and you know, we figured that we can play a lot of soccer here, and so most of our trip was experiencing the culture, guided tours, seeing as many sites as we could see, eating as much good food as we could, and just having a great time. It was a fantastic trip.
You had been there before, so what are some of the things that you did this time that maybe were different than the trip before?
Yeah, I mean, I gave the girls a chance to choose where they wanted to go. You know, every 4 years we get this opportunity, and I've been a lot of different places. This is our 5th trip as a program. They all want to go to Italy. They want to see the Colosseum, the David, the Vatican, Venice, just so many neat places that we had a chance to go and visit.
How long did you spend at each of these like iconic locations?
Not very long. We saw as much as we could in the amount of time we had. We were in a different city every day. Sometimes we were in 2 or 3 cities, and we just got as much as we could in. We'd sightsee for 8 hours, get on a bus for 2 hours, step out on the field and play a game. And you can see from some of the pictures there, it was just unbelievable. Once-in-a-lifetime trip, I think, for all of the girls. And so many of their parents went with us, and that was a lot of fun.
Do you notice a difference in the seasons where you go on this trip versus the ones you don't? Everyone talks about team chemistry.
Yeah.
I would think that this is very helpful in that.
It's very helpful. You know, our last trip was 2012, one of our best seasons we've ever
Elite
had.
8.
That's right. So we have high expectations, certainly, for this coming season, but an opportunity for the girls to spend a lot of time together, 12 days on the road, a lot of opportunity to get to know each other even better, get to know the parents, and get just everybody hanging out and just have a good time, not the pressure and stress of the sport that comes so often with your time with the girls.
When you spend that much time together, you learn things you didn't know about some people. Did you learn anything fun about anyone that you didn't know?
Well, we had quite an opportunity. She'll be embarrassed, but Boaz lost her passport.
Oh!
So on the first day that we get there, so we didn't know if we were going to be able to bring her home or just leave her there. But we got it all worked out, and but no, we had a great time. Nothing too major happened. We didn't lose anybody. You know, everybody showed up when they were supposed to because we did have a lot of free time. You know, girls like to shop, so we had a lot of free shopping time as well.
Boaz doesn't let a lot of things get by.
That's right. Good one. She also left her leather coat at church one day.
Hey!
So we had a good time giving Boaz.
She's having a tough preseason, seems like.
It's all right. She'll be ready to go. She'll be ready to go.
With 80 people, are you like counting off 1 to 80 to make sure you get everybody? How are you counting?
Get in your lines, kids.
I know. No, I put 4 girls in charge, and they had a certain amount of girls, and I said, your kid's here, and we're good to go. And parents, if they weren't there, they're on their own. They knew where we were going. They could meet us there later. But 2 buses, like I said, everybody did a great job of being where they were supposed to be.
What was the best thing you ate over there?
You know, you got to love a place where you can go and eat pizza, pasta, and gelato every single day.
Every day.
Every day, pizza and gelato. So we walked enough. We were walking, 8-9 miles a day.
So
you didn't even feel guilty. You could just eat whatever you wanted. And so, yeah, I mean, pasta, pizza, bread, it was great.
What did you do that was when in Rome?
Oh, we did Rome in 1 day. I mean, it wasn't
built in 1 day, but it was
day.
visited
We
in 1 day.
visited in one day, yes. That was the 1 day we were afraid we might lose some girls. It was very crowded. We were walking from kind of site to site, and we had to be at a certain place at each, at 4 different meeting times. And, okay, you have 45 minutes to be back, and no one got lost. It was okay, but we saw as much as we possibly could.
Don't read Dan Brown books if you're going
it was awesome. I told all the girls to watch the movies or read the books before they went, and it makes it even more fun, especially, The Last Supper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things are looking up for this BYU women's soccer team, not just because you had the camaraderie of the trip. I mean, you performed well in Italy. But, in fact, let's just roll out the stat of the day as we transition over to the actual soccer.
It's the BYU Sports Nation Stat of the Day.
BYU women's soccer graduates just 2 seniors from a team that won a 4th straight WCC title and won an NCAA tournament game. So, with that in mind, you take this trip. What are the early kind of expectations in your mind for this group that brings back a lot of pieces?
We have really high expectations. I mean, every year we come in with those, but last year we were a team ranked in the top 10 for almost the majority of the season. Only lost 3 games. 2 of those were to Stanford. You know, obviously disappointed to have to run into them in the second round, and gave a good run at them. But with returning the amount of experience we have, the leadership that we have, if we have the opportunity to get Nadia and Ashley on the field at the same time after what Nadia was able to do last year, plus we have an unbelievable schedule to look forward to, a schedule that would, if we can do well, keep us in the top 10, set ourselves up for a position to be seeded in the tournament, and maybe not have to run into such a great team in the second round.
Yeah, I'm still kind of weirded out, semi upset about the fact.
It's like you guys run into Stanford, and then women's basketball always has to be in the UConn bracket. Like,
right? It's
or
the same thing.
It's like, what the heck? When do you plan on releasing the schedule, by the way?
It's real soon. We've got some exciting plans. We're going to try and put together a VIP package for some of our fans with parking and food and all of that good stuff.
Whoa.
I mean, for soccer, that's a big deal. So we hope to release that pretty soon. I can tell you our first exhibition game is against UCLA, you know, national champions from a few years ago. We also play the defending national champions Penn State on the road this year. We also have Nebraska at home. So those are some of the things that we have to look forward to.
No, I told you to make it harder, Jen.
It's the hardest. We played a pretty tough schedule last year. I was sweating it the whole time, but this one's even more challenging. But we knew we have a crew of girls that are up for it and want that challenge and want to see how good we can be. And you only know that if you go out and play the best.
Jen Rockwood, the BYU women's soccer coach, with us in Studio B after a tour of Italy, talking expectations. We need you, first of all, to sign our BYU Sports Nation Stretch Y flag. But I do want to talk just a second before you answer this about the pro prospects of your girls. Like, do you have to worry about professional scouts coming in at all and kind of wooing them and distracting them?
And it's not so much, I think, with our sport yet. I mean, the Women's Professional League is definitely building its base, and this year they've got off to a great start with attendance and fans. And you know, in the years past, we've had some players who can play and have been drafted at that level. We've only had Lindsay Lisenby, who's decided to do it. A couple girls have been drafted but have decided to move on and do some different things. But we know, because of the quality and experience of our players, that there's always a few that are going to have that opportunity. And I'm sure this year our group of seniors are going to be a couple who could possibly be drafted, as well as, you know, they've already put out advances for the 2018 class that we've recently seen. So we've got a lot of great players.
There's a draft board for everything
Everything.
Yeah,
Everything
we'll
in every
coming up.
sport.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks for coming on, and do you mind
thanks, guys.
signing the
Love
Stretch
to
Y
sign
flag?
it.